All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the First State Brewing Company, and they are out of Middletown, Delaware, and this is their Black Lotus. So they're calling this one a coffee stout that is brewed with a smidge of lactose. It comes in at 7% alcohol by volume, 60 IBUs at the time of review. This can is just under 2 months old. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and fellow BeerTuber, Ridge, over at Ridgeopolus, otherwise known as Get a Nose on a Beer Reviews, for hooking me up with this one. In the description box, I'll post a link to Ridge's channel, along with the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies he hooked me up with, and Ridge is a great guy. Go check out his channel. Not much more to say about it. I have shouted out his channel so much in my reviews because I love his reviews. Fun and entertaining, great guy, deserves more subs. Go check him out. So when it comes to First State, to Ridge, this is for hop forward beers, but to Ridge, they are the second best in the state, right behind Dewey. They used to be number one. Dewey has surpassed them. But here's the funny thing about it. He likes their hop forward offerings. He sent me their coffee stout, and Ridge doesn't like coffee. So I believe he tried this on tap, and he was just like, yeah, that's too much coffee for me. Luckily, I like coffee. I like coffee stouts. This is like a coffee milk stout, kind of, because it has a smidge of lactose, not a ton. On the back here, they have a lot of information. It says, as far as tasting notes, whatever. I saw them, I'm not going to bullshit you. Coffee, dark chocolate, latte, simple. They have a scale of 1 to 5 for the hops, the malt, and the yeast. Hops are 1 out of 5. Yeast is 1 out of 5. Malt is 5 out of 5. Again, 60 IBUs. They have a bunch of other stuff. Hops, they're using Cascade grains, local two-row, Maris Otter, Munich, chocolate, roasted barley, and then they're using Little Goat coffee, probably like a local roaster, and then a lactose. And yeah, it says drink responsibly, be a good human, please recycle. Well, I totally will. First State. Anyway, let's crack this one open. So I'm using my Bellwoods glass here. Why? Because I love this glass, and I don't get enough Bellwoods. We only get some of their stuff here in Western New York, and I want to use it more often, so we're using it. Whatever. Just thought I'd point that out. So give it a nice little pour here. Go like that. It's probably going to generate a huge head. Yeah, it's a little bit of aggressive pour. Seems to be a bit carbonated, so be fine with it. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Little cheat there. It's nice. So how does this look? Well, this looks like I poured it like an idiot, because I did. But it has this really deep, dark brown color here. When I was pouring, it was a little bit darker. But in the glass, it has like just a deep, dark brown color. On camera, it's going to look pitch black. Has about a 2.5 to 3 finger mocha-colored head. I would say that looks like typically how I drink my coffee to some degree. But yeah, it looks very frothy and creamy. Starting to dissipate a little bit, but yeah, that looks like, I would say, a nice coffee stout. Let's give it a nose. Okay, yeah, the coffee's definitely coming through. Ooh, there's a nice earthiness and like slight berry note, which I'd assume is coming from the coffee. Oh yeah, there's roasted malt, roasted coffee, earthiness. There's a bitter and chocolate component, like a real big, dark, like 60, 70, 80% cacao bar. It almost has like a smoke quality, like a very, like really charred, like roasty kind of malt note. It's not like the coffee is burnt. It's more like the base beer, just really roasty. Yeah, so really dark chocolate, like I said, probably like a 70, 80% cacao bar. Real roasty, cherry type of malt character. There's a nice roasted coffee character. It's kicking out like an earthiness and a little like a tinge of like a, I would say like a red berry. Ooh, hang on. You know what this smells like to me when I keep on going back? It smells like so I like my coffee. I don't drink it straight black. I like it with a little bit of coffee, a little bit of creamer. And I haven't been drinking it too much with sugar anymore, but I used to do like, if you got like a medium or large, I would do like 2 creamers and a sugar, 2 and 2, double, if you live in Canada and ever went to Tim Hortons. But lately I've been just going more like creamer. That's kind of what it smells like. You poured a little bit of a creamer in here, so you're getting a slight sweet kind of note to it, but you're still getting that base like coffee. It smells pretty good, so let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Ridge. Man, the coffee really pops on the palate. I can totally understand why Ridge doesn't like this one. This is coffee through and through. I dig it, though. It's not amazing. I dig it, and I love the lacing, too. But I think this one's 7% straight medium body. It's fine. The mouthfeel, there's carbonation, but it's really smooth and slightly creamy. I think, again, why they don't call it a coffee milk stout is they say they're using a smidge of lactose. So they're not trying to make this a coffee milk stout. What they're trying to do is have that lactose bump up that body of mouthfeel, make it a little bit thicker, a little bit creamier. And I think they've accomplished that, honestly. Body mouthfeel are really nice, especially the mouthfeel. The taste, it's coffee. It's the predominant note on my palate. It hits you right at the front, big blast of like a roasty, slightly bitter and coffee. As it passes through, though, the coffee starts changing like characters, and it has a complexity to it. Again, there's an earthiness, a little bit of like a berry, almost like a, it's gonna sound crazy, like a marshmallow type of thing going on. And it's really nice, and it's, again, predominant. It's riding over the malt base, but underneath that, there is a cherry roasty kind of malt character. There is that really deep, dark, like baker's chocolate, 70-80% cacao bar, bittering chocolate. So all the chocolate flavor without the accompanying sweetness that you get in a milk chocolate or just like a Hershey's dark chocolate. It finishes more of that earthy, roasty kind of coffee bitterness, or just coffee character. This one is semi-dry with a, I'd say, moderate to maybe a touch over moderate bitterness. This has a nice bittering aspect on the back of the palate. Now, if you're drinking a coffee stout, you're looking for that. I like that this isn't too sweet. A lot of times you'll get coffee beers and they just, you know, you'll get the coffee character, but it'd be too sweet. It's like you dumped a bunch of cream and sugar in your coffee. And, you know, some of those drinks are fine. Like you get the crazy Starbucks stuff, and yeah, they're delicious. But like if you're drinking everyday coffee, I don't want it to be super sweet, you know? 7%. The alcohol is beautifully well hidden. This is really nice. It's not blowing me away, but I think a beer like this isn't meant to blow you away. A beer like this, and I think this is like a staple from them, or like one of their regular rotating offerings. If you like darker beers and you're in the mood for a 7% coffee stout, like they did a really good job with it. Again, I know why Ridge didn't like this. I know why if you don't like coffee, you wouldn't like this. Again, if you don't like coffee, you're not going to buy a coffee stout. I would think that anyway. If there's certain flavors that I don't like, I usually don't buy those beers. Although sometimes I'm curious and you never know what you're going to like. But I think for a coffee stout with a little bit of lactose in it, I think they did a pretty damn good job. Again, nothing mind-blowing, but really well made. No off flavors. The coffee pops. Real good beer. So I am going to give Black Lotus, the coffee stout from First State Brewing Company, I'm going to give that a straight, what do I want to give this? I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I think that is a fair score for where I'm drinking right now. It's really nice. And the beautiful thing about it is price and availability. I believe these are like 14 or 15. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rich. I think it's 14. I think the max for this is $16 4-pack. I think it's like 14 or 15 bucks a 4-pack at the brewery. So you're talking less than $4 a can for a 7% coffee stout. It's pretty good value, especially in this market nowadays. Availability, I don't know if First State gets any distribution. I know you can get it at the brewery, but they probably pop into maybe like local bottle shops. I don't know. Ridge, let me know. You'd be the first guy that I turned to when I hear about First State and their distribution. So let me know what you paid for it, and let me know the distro on this one, because I'd be curious. So yeah, not much more to say about this one. If you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. I think it's just a really nice, easygoing, well-balanced, just tasty coffee stout. Not much more to say about. So thanks again to Rich for this one. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.